Thanks for dropping in. In this video, I prove my brain hasn't yet evolved past a single cell stage by failing to release a drive from a drive bay. That single cell then struggles to release a GPU from the rear mechanism. And having no friends and no other cells to communicate with, it struggles with the basic concept of CPU specifications. I recently came across an auction for an HP Compaq 8100 on eBay. This got my interest for a few reasons. Beyond the low starting price, firstly this had both a 320GB spinning Rust hard drive, as well as a 500GB SSD. From the specifications, I could see this was actually a crucial MX500 unit. A pretty nice drive using TLC NAND chips, I believe. I'll leave a link here to an earlier video where I look at the different NAND types, so why this is of interest. Now, while second-hand hard drives and SSDs are not advisable for important data, a 500GB unit to stick some games on is always useful and pretty much justifies the price of the whole unit. It also means I can take the SSD out and still have a functioning PC due to the 320GB drive being there. On looking at the specs and photos, I also noticed a discrete GPU. This is a GT710. Not great, but still surprisingly popular on the second-hand market. I guess to add multi-monitor ability to office PCs. Now these go for around £20, so give or take, I could sell the GPU and make most of my money back. Have a free 500GB SSD, and also, as the included i5 650 has an integrated iGPU, the PC, like the SSD, doesn't actually need the GT710 to work. So that'll be a free PC to give away. A couple of other bonuses are that I actually currently don't have any 2GB DDR3 sticks lying around, as I've given them all away in builds. So as this has 4x 2GB sticks, I might take a couple as they are useful for testing purposes, leaving this as a 4GB PC. I also have an i5 760 lying around that came in a bundle a while back, that I haven't been able to test due to not having a suitable motherboard. But this being an 1156 socket and reportedly having compatibility could be a nice little opportunity to test that CPU. I put in the initial $14.99 bid and luckily added a little bit more because there was a 50p bidding war, but after which I won the auction for £15.50 plus 5.99 P&P. So £21.49 all in. So what turned up? One big box with "Please drop kick me" tape all over it. It was well packaged and the PC itself was well protected in bubble wrap, and the PC was exactly as described. I tried myself to take some of the stickers off and failed without some soapy water, which is why they look a bit tatty. Looking at the back, we can see the discrete GPU, so it looks like we have been sent the correct unit. Opening it up, the GT710 looks to be a passive model, which is great, as they tend to be slightly more popular than the active fan models. I guess because of the completely silent operation, as well as slightly less to potentially break. We also appear to have the stated 2.5-inch SSD and a 3.5-inch HDD. Great. And 4 sticks of RAM, as well as numerous dust bunnies. Lovely. First off, does this PC actually boot before I start messing around with anything? Yes, bonus. And from the BIOS we can see that we do have the stated i5 650 and 4x 2GB RAM, as well as the crucial 500mx SSD and the 320GB HDD, which is a Western Digital model. I then, after way more effort than it should have taken, managed to remove the SSD, which was in a nice little 2.5 to 3.5-inch converter bay, caddy, which is an added bonus as most people, myself included, tend to leave the 2.5-inch SSDs hanging from a single screw in the 3.5-inch bay. And also the graphics card. And a couple of sticks of the RAM. This therefore left me with a nice little bundle of a GT710 2x2GB RAM and the 500GB MX500 SSD. Nice. The graphics card is a 1GB model with GDDR5 at least, and the SSD all looks good. A quick smart check shows it is 88% good, having written 14.5TB of data, but as said, as long as it's not used for important info, only games, etc., it'll be fine. I then turned my attention to the CPU, as I wanted to try out the i5-760 I had, as well as assuming the thermal paste would probably need changing. So I placed the i5-760 in, anyone notice my slight oversight yet? And then I turned it on and nothing. At the time I thought it was a faulty CPU. Oh well. However, the i5-650 is a dual core 4-thread chip, while the i5-760 is a quad core chip. However, the 650 does have an iGPU while the 760 does not, so I was never going to get a signal out from using the motherboard ports. Ironically, if I had left the GT710 in there, it probably would have been fine. However, as I only noticed this when looking back at this footage, and have since given the PC away, the i5-760 will have to wait for another day for testing. All that was left was a bit of a clean, using a vacuum. Using a vacuum is not ideal due to the potential static, but Santa is bringing me an air duster, so that will be good going forward. I then installed Windows 10 on the 320GB HDD, which auto-activated as this is an HP pre-built, and job done. The PC was put on FreeCycle and was snapped up in minutes, so they get a free PC, and I get a free SSD, and 2x2, so 4GB of testing RAM, after I sell the GT710. All win. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to see my next one. Leave any comments below. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.